And it's time for BS in the afternoon on Hits 105.5, and it's one of my favorite segments of the day because it's Mystic Monday. Hello, JoElle. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. The weather is sunny.
Yeah.
I know there's snow out there still, but it's warming up, and that's a good sign. It makes me happy. Makes me feel like I can enjoy the outside a little bit more. My daughter asked me today, she's like, what's your favorite color? And I said, I think it's yellow. Why? Because it reminds me of the sun.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's sunny. And she's like, TikTok says that if your favorite color is yellow, you're annoying.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. I was like, all right, thank you.
Cool story, bro.
Yeah, cool story. So apparently I'm annoying. And so, but I don't think that's accurate. So you can't listen to everything TikTok says. But I have you on TikTok and I like it because I listen to everything you say on there.
Oh, well, thank you.
And it's Dancing Moon Society if anybody wants to follow you, right?
Yeah, it's Dancing Moon Society. And I have podcasts on there. I've been posting these on there. I do tarot readings, oracle readings. I do a meditation series. All sorts of fun stuff.
My favorite is the tarot readings because then like she'll put like cards on there and then you got to choose your card and then like later in the day you like flip them over and then explain them.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, oh, how did she get me? I'm like, this can't be accurate. And then I'm like, yep, it did it.
I know. And those are all pre-recorded too. So like, because I pre-record everything on Mondays. So then by the time I post everything, I don't know who's chosen what. And like, I'm just like, oh, hey, that's cool, I guess.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how that works.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's talk about Tez Macau.
Yes.
Did I say that correctly?
Yes, you did.
I'm so proud of myself.
So those are sweat lodges. And depending on what culture you're in, depends on the name it is. So like over the weekend, myself and one of my people went to an Inipi ceremony, which is a sweat lodge, but that is more the Lakota way. The Tez Macau is from the Mexica, which is what I am.
Okay.
But yeah.
What's the difference?
The difference is, so huts are made differently. Sweat lodges are run differently. Sometimes in sweat lodges, it's only women or only men, or women, women have to dress a certain way. We have to act a certain way. Men are only allowed to drum, or in some of them, women are allowed to drum. And so it just really depends on the culture, really, on how they want to represent both the male and masculine, or masculine and feminine energy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so sweat lodges, when I imagine a sweat lodge, I'm thinking like everybody's sweating. It's extremely unpleasant.
Yeah.
Because who wants to be that hot? Is that pretty much accurate?
In a way, yes. So the sweat lodge is supposed to be there to help not only the physical body cleanse itself of any toxins, impurities, or any of those things, but it also helps spiritually too. So yes, while it is between 150 and 180 degrees in there, you are also doing breath work at the same time, which breath work helps to induce the vision quest that you're kind of on. And it helps us to tune into ourselves. So yes, you are sweating like crazy and you were soaked by the time you get out, but you have become enlightened. You've let some things go. You've found yourself. So you set an intention before you go into the sweat lodge.
Okay.
So it's supposed to just help with clarity.
I need clarity.
It's
all the time.
Yeah, don't we all?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. And so, what's the difference between doing like a Tez Macau or a sweat lodge versus doing like a cacao journey like we were talking about last week?
So with the cacao, you can actually partner it with the sweat lodge. The major difference is like with cacao ceremony, we're not sweating together. We're sitting in ceremony, which no matter what you do in whatever culture, there's always ceremony involved with sweat lodges or medicine ceremonies or any of those different types of things. Because the ceremony part helps to build the community. That's one of the most important parts and the most important aspects of it. Because while you're doing that, you're sharing your stories, you're sharing your medicine, you're sharing your culture with others. And when you heal together in that type of setting, you learn together. And then so, if we're just doing the cacao ceremony, we're drinking the cacao, we're going into meditation, we're creating things. But if you partner that with the sweat lodge, you drink the medicine, you go in a sweat lodge, and you sweat it all out. But typically with sweat lodges, especially like with the Nipi ceremonies and the Desmocals, you most often go in there sober because already it's a mystifying experience. So like they'll throw herbs and stuff like that onto the rocks or whatever they're using for their ceremony. And so like for the Inipi ceremony, we use bear root. Bear root helps in different ways to help detoxify the body. It helps to open up the lungs. And then so you're breathing deeper into that sort of meditative state. So already they use natural medicines, more of just plant medicines. So that's the yerba mismo that kind of goes in with that, which is the herb medicine.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool. I don't know anything about that. So I'm just going to say it's cool. I think there is different ways, obviously, of cleansing your body and cleansing your soul and all of that. What do you think is the most effective way of, like, what's the fast track? We're Americans. We want the fast track.
Yeah.
What's the fast track?
Okay, so fast track, sage, Palo Santo. Yeah, sage or Palo Santo, which you can get at the Moonflower Effect here in Sydney.
Oh, that's nice.
But saging is probably one of the most well-known. As long as you're getting it ethically sourced, you light it, you kind of just cleanse the smoke all around you, and that's that. So that's probably the easiest way. The other ways that I know are a little bit more involved and in tune, but I think basic-wise, it would be sage and Palo Santo.
Okay. And you can get both of those at the Moonflower.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good for the Moonflower.
It is. She has the other things too that I would recommend. But that would be more involved in like, okay, you really want to get that deep spiritual cleansing. So like in the mornings, I have an ancestor altar because I'm Vietnamese. That's how we honor our ancestors. I light incense every morning, or I light sage or any of those different herbs or copal. And the way I cleanse myself is first by going over my head, cleansing my eyes, my nose, my mouth, and it helps to kind of just open up all those senses. So there's different types of cleansings you can do and to help yourself just feel better throughout the day.
Okay. And just aside, I'm gonna throw you for a loop, which is my favorite. We were talking about intention setting before we got on air. Should you always have different intentions for everything that you do, or is that just something that you do during certain ceremonies?
No, intention is everything because it goes hand in hand with manifestation. If you wake up in the morning and you intend on, okay, so I'm going to set this intention that I'm going to have a great day today, instead of having like a really crappy day, which you might have had anyways, you have that intention of like, okay, I set this goal and I'm going to achieve it. I'm not going to let anything kind of bombard me regardless of how the day goes. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So even with like cleansings and ceremony, everything is done by setting intention. It's so important in any aspect, even like in the healing journey, having that intention set, like, okay, I'm going to connect to this heart piece because I know it hurts. And then that helps you in medicine or just with your daily life. Like, okay, I'm going to pay more attention to this. I'm going to pay attention to how I am reacting to things or overreacting to things. What can I change? What can I learn how to talk? What can I learn how to help? And all those different aspects.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Me and all my friends were manifesting that we're having a fun year this year. This is the year of fun.
Yeah.
And so we're really excited about that because we're like, we're having the year of fun.
Yeah.
This is going to be great. No, nothing's bringing us down this year. It's 2024, baby.
Yeah. And so that would be like an intention too. You're setting that intention of, I'm going to have a great year this year.
Yeah.
And that's, yeah, they go very hand in hand with each other.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is cool. So thank you for being on the show again today. I'm super excited. I love having you come on and just learning so much from you.
Ah, thanks. I love being on.
Yay. All right. So we'll be back on BS in the afternoon right after this. And we're going to have the pun of the day coming up right after a few commercials and Blank Space by Taylor Swift.